Anyway, hey guys, thanks for joining me on this first new episode of The Best of What's Around. I'm Patrick Houston, and I like to give you ideas, and I read a lot of books, so I want to give you the best of what's around. Listen, we'll work on that title just like we worked on the Hustle Hobbies title. And today, for my first episode, I want to talk about something a little bit crunchy, very, very crunchy, because I like to aim this Best of What's Around show to like more of my peers, whereas the Houston Hustle Hobbies is like for 18 to 25 year olds, people just getting started. The Best of What's Around is like for people my age. Just so you know, I'm 30. I just turned 36, and you know, at this age, you get into like just deeper thinking. So I wanted to have this show about sort of like the deeper thinking of different things, since I read so much and I got all these stupid fucking ideas. So whatever, and more cursing in this show. So today I wanted to talk about Google, Amazon, and whatever other smart home devices or things that are being baked into your phone and stuff like that, and how they know you, and how it's so it's deep. It's a lot going on. So if anybody can figure out a way to get this, you need to look at the book, at least the first chapter of the book, Life 3.0. I can't remember the name of the author who wrote it, but it's a really good book, and it's kind of what this subject is going to allude to. So Google, Amazon, and any other smart device, they're all baked in. They all know who you are. They all know what you're doing. And, you know, I had a friend over to watch the game yesterday, a few days ago, go Eagles. And you know, in my house, I got a Google Home Mini. I have the Bixby on the refrigerator, and it's, you know, and everything is listening. Everything knows what's going on. And I think as this technology is in its infancy, it's still open. It's still open. And what I mean about that is that it will have the power to influence you later on through all the algorithms and through the way it's listening to you and stuff like that. And we'll get into all that stuff later. As you can tell, this is a very complicated subject to unpack. And just the way I started using the internet, like back in 1995, 1996, and the internet was free. It was just free. It was just a jungle. It was just whatever you wanted. You know, you want some porn, go find some porn. Well, you can do that right now, but you know, if you want anything, you can go find anything. Like, you know, I used to be able to run the internet through DOS. You know, that's how far back I go. So the reason why I'm thinking about this is because this is information. It's these systems and these algorithms. They're learning you, and they've been learning you for a very long time. And here's my thing. I don't want to fight it. You know, let it. You know, I've been a student of YouTube University, since 2006, 2007, when YouTube came out, you know, watching every stupid thing on YouTube like everybody else does. And then I started looking at, I remember I asked my boss in the company I'm with, back in like 2014, 2015, like, you know, can you help me with stocks? And I can remember the Mona Lisa smile that he gave me and the eye roll that he gave me. He was just like, oh, you know, okay, first of all, just put more money into your Vanguard. And it's crazy because I knew that he knew more than me. And on like that different level. It's like when a 4-year-old asks you, how come tires are black? And you're just like, okay. And that's what I felt like. I literally felt like a child. So I went down a rabbit hole. I finally mustered up the laziness and the strength to go find out, you know, a little bit about stocks. So I just YouTubed it, and I Googled a couple of things, and I just learned some basic things, and it was like share prices, and it was like interest, and I was just like, what the fuck? So I got away from that. But like what ended up happening was, in my suggested YouTube feeds, I started seeing a lot of advertisements for Stash. Is when I started out for Stash. I started seeing a lot of little bit by little bit, I started seeing there weren't so many bright side videos to find out how deep is the Mariana Trench or whatever stupid thing I was looking up, you know, but there started to be shows on people that were investing. And ever since that, it's been sort of happening like that. Like, it's just sort of been like the internet. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the internet has been suggesting things that that it thinks might have benefit in your life. And let me tell you something. Those are algorithms. Those are the algorithms. It's a simple if then IFTT if then protocol. Like, if Target, if like forever whatever reason, this is back in. I'm talking about technology that's 10 years old at this point. Used to have those little add-ons and weird, goofy things into your browser, but they're baked into they're there still. They're just baked into your browser. So, for an example, a girl, it was a big famous story about this girl who, she went to Target and she got a pregnancy. She went to Target for normal things, then she had a credit card. She was swiping, and she had she's a teenager with a credit card. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. She was swiping at Target, and they looked at what she bought, maxi pads, Nature's Farm, whatever, and they just look at what you buy over a month. And then they looked at, like, she actually bought, I think it was like a Teen Mom magazine, or she bought a pregnancy test. And then Target and Johnson & Johnson started sending her, like, email. They started giving her coupons for baby stuff, and, like, the coupons for baby stuff were in her name, going to her address, and her dad was like, what the fuck, you gotta whatever. And so basically that's how her dad and her family found out that she was having sex, because of the algorithms. So they're around, and they can mess you up. You can understand how they can mess you up, but in a lot of ways, I think you should just let the fire burn, man. Like, like, for instance, I've been looking at this. I look at a lot of things that have to do with, like, the heuristics of the mind and fast brain and slow brain thinking and stuff like that, just to understand exactly what the hell is going on in here. Because I don't know. Nobody knows. Not a lot of people know. Psychologists know. Anyway, so all of these things that I've been getting, I'm starting to get a lot of, the YouTube algorithm is starting to give me a lot of Jordan Peterson. The YouTube algorithm is starting to give me all these people that sort of deal with, Carl Jung, start to deal with, like, what's going on up in here and stuff like that. And you start to look at these videos because they come on your preview thing. So the algorithms are making you smarter. Yeah, sure. Do do the robots know, I don't know, do they know my sexual preference? Why do I care? Why do you care? Oh, I need to keep that private because of my shame. It's going to be used against me 20 years later when I decide to try to lead my city and do something positive. What's it matter? What's it matter? Like, everybody has an id, so it doesn't matter. Your shit stinks just like my shit stinks. And if the internet knows and it can be used against you, then you can use the internet to outsmart the bad things that you think it's trying to do to you. Or you can just get out of your own head and just realize that everybody's trying and nobody's trying to besmirch your character, and you begin to love yourself and you begin to care about those things. Anyway, those are just my ideas. Let me know your comments and concerns. Thanks for listening to me on this first show. It's all over the place, and you see, this is what I'm talking. This is what I'm going to do. This is a lot of stuff to unpack. So anyway, thanks for listening to me. Take care, guys.